In this video, I'm going to walk teachers through Unit 5, Day 18, which is the second lesson of the two-part lesson on the superpower rivalry during the Cold War. This lesson really starts on slide 17 of the slide deck, so I'm going to skip ahead. And you'll notice that there is no introduction, there's no model, it jumps right into the student work, which means that this is a really good lesson if you wanted to combine it with the previous one. If you're doing the jigsaw model, last lesson you had students research the space race and the arms race, but if you do put them into groups of 4, you can have one student look at the space race, another at the arms race, another at the Olympic rivalry, and another at the kitchen debates. They start off here with the Olympic rivalry, and you've got a couple of videos along with the text on the slide. Unlike the last two, there's no questions here in the text or in the slides themselves, but you do have a good video of Bob Costas talking about the Munich Olympics, and then on the next slide, you've got a good video of the Miracle hockey team, Miracle on Ice from the 1980s Olympics, which is in New York. Again, just bringing it back to our area. If you were doing this for the jigsaw, you might add some questions alongside with these debates. But the texts, unlike the past two with the arms race and the space race, these texts and videos are linked into the slides themselves, and they go on. So they do have one question here, but if you're jigsawing it, you might add some more questions throughout. And then we talk about the kitchen debate, which I didn't know about, honestly, before doing this lesson, which I thought was just really interesting about the United States bringing in all of our technology to kind of show Soviets what being an American meant. And it talks about just how this wasn't just an arms race and a space race. It wasn't just politics, but it was also personal. And there's a couple of questions here. This one is a little bit shorter than the previous one. So if you are jigsawing, either as a group of 4 or if you're just jigsawing again, this is a good place to differentiate. So kitchen debates is a little bit simpler than the Olympics section. And then it talks about a détente, which you could add into the jigsaw or just have as a separate component, because it's kind of more like the end of the Cold War. And you have a video and a question here that students can answer. And then they had their wrap up, and so this would be a place where if you've had students jigsaw either as a whole one lesson or as or you've just had them jigsaw again, they might be wrapping up what they've learned from each other or just in general. And then there's a check for understanding, in which they can talk about one event closely, and maybe if you're expanding this, you might have them do it for 2 events. And that's the end of the lesson.